Hey guys, it's your boy Kirk and we're back again with a deal breakdown for you guys. A lot of people were asking questions about what do the numbers really look like when you're investing in properties, specifically fix and flip. So we're gonna run through one of our deals that we recently did. If you have any questions, drop a comment down below or shoot me a DM. I'll be happy to answer your questions. Let's get to it. On this property, one of the first things you wanna look at when you are buying a property is your ARV. So that's the amount that you can sell the property at. I'm not going to go into detail about ARV in this video. Don't know what that is, check out some of my earlier videos where I break those things down. But on this one, we had a great ARV of 285. We threw that into our formula. Again, if you don't already know the formula, get out of this video right now and head to one of my earlier videos where I break down the formula and how to use it and how to make the correct offer before buying a property. We ended up buying this property at $140,000. Typically, people would want to use their own money when buying properties. I am highly against that. I'm all about leverage, OPM, using other people's money. So with this one, we ended up getting a loan. So we went out, reached to one of our hard money lenders, asked them for a loan on this deal. They approved it. There's two ways that you can do it when asking for hard money. You can get a loan for the purchase price alone and you can cover the rehab, or you can get a loan for the purchase price and the rehab. So they'll cover the whole thing for you. For us on this one, we had enough cash on hand to put into the property and still maintain operations. So we decided just for them to finance the purchase of this property. And the reason being is that we'll pay less interest because the loan amount isn't as high as it would be if we had them finance the rehab as well. Purchase price 140. Their loan amount though, we still asked for 152 in our loan amount. Some may ask, why? When closing on properties, there's still costs that you're gonna incur when closing. Typically, we offer to pay our sellers' closing costs. So we like to bake that into our loan, so that way we don't really have to come out of any cash at closing. So on this one, our purchase price was 140. With closing costs, both buyer and seller, us covering it, it came up to roughly about 147 at the closing table. Rather than bringing money to the table, we actually got 5K back. Now, it's not profit because it's rolled into the loan. It's just money that we get back that we can start the rehab a lot quicker. We don't have to worry about coming out of pocket for. So we got 5K back here. The rehab estimate that we had, we estimated 15K. Anybody that flips houses, you know that whatever you estimate, it never comes to fruition, right? You're always underestimating. There's always things that pop up that happen that you can't account for. We estimated 15 on this, but we actually ended up spending 19K on this. So this flip was 19K. For us, this kind of considered mid-grade for us. Now, mid-grade, what does that look like? Well, we're not doing any of the majors, or maybe one or two out of the majors. So there's no foundation problems, there's no roof problems, there's no plumbing problems, maybe some electrical issues that you have to fix, and maybe some HVAC or something like that. Typically for us, if it has 1 to 2 out of the top 5 major items, if you don't know the top 5, check out my other video, you'll see them there. But top 5, 2 out of the top 5, it's considered mid-grade. For this, we got away with 19K worth of work. On the back end, we had an ARV of 285, but if you've been listening to us, we are always trying to move our properties fast. We're not always looking to be the best. We're not always looking to hit that ARV. It's, hey, how much wiggle room do we have to cut our price cheaper than the competition so that way we can get rid of our properties fast? So the name of the game is cash conversion, right? The amount you spend, how fast can you get it back? So we really focus on that. ARV was 285, but we decided to list the property at 260. Typical days on market in the area at the time were about anywhere between 15 to 20, 25 days. Because we listed it $20,000 lower than the next property that was on the market, we actually got a contract within 10 days. Contract came in at $256,000. Not too bad. Still less than what we listed it for, but again, we had so much profit baked into it that for us, it's fine. We're willing to let it go for a little bit cheaper so that way we can get our money back and put it back to work again. Now, when you're selling, you have to remember that there are other costs that are gonna come out of that when you're selling on the market. Typically, what happens is that A buyer will come to your property, they'll make an offer, you'll get under contract, and then they'll have what's called an option period. During this period, they're running their inspections. They're checking the property to make sure that it checks all the boxes with regards to safety, meeting lender requirements, all these other things, right? As they go through, if it fails any of those things, they're gonna come back and they're going to try to renegotiate with you. We like to call this, right, seller contribution. They're gonna come back and ask, they're gonna say, hey, we did our inspection on this property and the roof needs some work. Do you mind giving us some money towards closing? Do you mind fixing this for us? Typically for us, we don't like doing those repairs afterhand. We like to put it in their hands. So we give them what's called seller contribution. So in this property, we ended up giving them $5,500 towards their closing costs to help them out. That way, they don't have to bring that money to closing. They can use it on the repairs. So this was $5,500. Another factor that you have to think about is agent commissions. Agent commissions are typically 6%, right? That's 3% for the buy side, 3% for the sell side. You always have to make sure you're baking that in when you're running your numbers. For us, luckily, we have agents on staff where they list the properties for us. So we don't have to pay that sell side or that listing side because it's in-house. We're only paying 3% commission on this. So this ended up being roughly $7,680 in agent commission. LP is your loan payoff. This is the amount that we borrowed from our lender. So we have to pay them back. On the hard money loans, they're interest only loans. So you're not paying down principal. So for this, it was $152K. Then after paying your loan back, you have your closing costs, what I said before, right? Same closing costs that you have on the front end, you're gonna have on the back, but just this time you're not paying both sides. So this closing cost came out to roughly about $3K in closing costs. So let's do the math. I'm gonna grab a calculator because I am not a genius. $256 in sales price, right? Minus $5,500 in seller contributions, minus $7,680 in agent commissions, minus your loan payoff, which is $152,000, minus your closing costs, which gives you $3K. That will give us $87,800. Now, most people will go, ooh, that's what I made. No. That is not your net profit because there are other expenses that were incurred while doing this. One thing that we don't have in there is our rehab. We have to take that rehab out when coming up with our net profit. So we spent of our own money, $19,000 of our own money. Our gross profit, GP gross profit, minus $19,000 gives us roughly a net profit of $68,820K. Now there are a few other expenses that came out of this. The interest that we paid to our hard money lender on this, I didn't put it on here because I didn't want to confuse you guys, but you will pay interest depending on how long you hold this note. So with our hard money lenders, we typically guarantee them 2 months, right? So we actually bought, fixed, and sold this deal within a month and a half, but we still paid them on 2 months. Not included in here, so this is still rough net profit number. This is the breakdowns, really simple. It's not very detailed because I want to keep it, high level so you can see it from a bird's eye view of what it looks like. There's a lot of other things you want to look at and factor when running your numbers. There are calculators that we have that we use that help us get very, very detailed. If you want to check those calculators out, just hit me up, shoot a comment below, definitely get it over to you. High level numbers of a mid-grade rehab for us. As you can see, not too shabby, but as you do these more and more and more, you get to understand kind of where your sweet spot is, what you want to do when you're running into these properties. Some people love doing full rehabs, some people love mid-grade, some people love nothing at all. It's just repetition. The more you do it, the more you understand what you like, what you want, and you go out and make some money. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe, drop a comment down below so that way we can keep bringing you content just like this.